So today I'm here to talk to you. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about my own life, my typical day. Every day I get up and I go to the gym. When I get home, I am greeted by my two dash-ends, Peggy and Fudge, and straight away I'll grab their leads and take them out for a walk. I'll take them to the local park, but on the way, we'll stop at the local coffee shop, Flat Coffee in Crumlin. And as soon as I walk through the door, I'm greeted by Amy, Richie, and Aaron, the local baristas. They know a little bit about me. I've been going there for about 18 months now. They know me, the dogs, my husband. My order during the summer, I like an iced oat matcha when it's warm and a warm oat flat white when it's cold. We know a lot about each other. We know about our lives, weekends, things like that. Now, imagine they were gone, replaced by a robotic arm powered by AI. That would make you the perfect oat flat white every single time you went in there. But what have we lost and at what cost? So we've seen so much discourse over the last number of years and number of months. In the US, we've seen loads and loads of jobs lost, for example, with driverless cars. Waymo has been launched in LA and in Austin. There's now driverless trucks that will also do deliveries. We see more and more news coming out every week. 50,000 jobs here eliminated by robots. 50,000 jobs there eliminated by robots. But what if that's actually not the true loss? What if the true loss is actually human connection and community? What people seem to forget in our race towards progress with AI is that human connection and human community are some of the most fundamental and important things in our lives. I want each of you to think about the different interactions you've had today. It might have been the nod from the security guard as you walked into a store. It might have been, for me actually, Wayne, our butcher, waving as I walked past with the dogs. The complaint that you had with your postman about how cold the weather is outside at the moment, or else it could have just been somebody at the cashier inside in the shop welcoming you as you came in. All of these interactions are actually delicate threads that weave together our communities. Sociologists actually call these third spaces. They're places outside our homes and outside of work where we are forced to interact with people, to collaborate with people, to get that connection. And as we strive towards a future of seamless efficiency, sorry, tripped over that one there a little, we actually are eliminating all of these. So when I was preparing this talk, I actually ended up talking to a neighbor of mine. The only reason I actually know her is because her dog Buddy and my dog Fudge absolutely love each other. They see each other in the park and they go crazy and they run over to each other. And when I was telling her about the idea behind this talk and about the loss of connection and community, she really made me think. The reason I know her is because of those forced connections, with the forced connections here being Buddy and Fudge. And so many people don't have those forced connections. And as we eliminate all of these seemingly irrelevant roles in the pursuit of progress, we actually lose all of these connections. The thing is, like, loneliness is becoming an epidemic. It's linked from everything from depression to heart disease. Like, even to all of you coming in here, how did you get in here today? Many of you probably took the Lewis or the train, I presume. And when you looked around, whose head was shoved in their phone with a pair of earpods in, ignoring everyone around them? And the only interactions that you actually had were those forced interactions around you. So these jobs are actually critical, and they really make our society. Even going back to the start, the reason that I love my area so much is that community. When I walk into a shop, I feel welcomed, I feel at home. A potential solution that has been offered around this, though, has been like, oh, we'll just take some surplus from AI and we'll give everyone a universal basic income. Yeah, great. It'll meet your basic needs. It could potentially eliminate poverty. But people need purpose. People need a reason to get up in the day, and jobs give them this. And the thing about AI, though, is AI gives us also, it's a new technology. It allows us to actually really look at like what has been our cultural norms, our societal norms. And the thing about societal norms is they're societal constructs. These are things that can easily be torn down and rebuilt as we see fit. So before I go into my solution, I want to talk you through an example. So the 40-hour work week, everyone just thinks that's standard, it's norm. But where did it actually come from? So during the Industrial Revolution, it wasn't uncommon for people to work 80 to 100 hours a week. It wasn't sustainable, and people around 1850 started to advocate for shorter working hours. And no one believed that this would actually drive any good. They were like, no, we'll lose money, this won't work, this won't happen. Probably a bit more eloquent than that, but yeah, we'll go from there. So in the 1920s, though, we had this radical change maker come in, and he decided, I'm going to implement a 5-day, 8-hour work week for my staff. And what did he see? Did he see like massive declines in his business? No, he actually saw massive productivity gains. He saw employees that were happier, employees that were more productive, he'd better output, less accidents in the workplaces, less deaths in the workplaces. And do you know who this was? It was Henry Ford. So the guy who was behind Ford Motor Company. So the thing is, inside in this, like, societal norms are just societal constructs. We can tear these things down and rebuild them together and rebuild them for something that's better. So this is my idea, the human dividend. So we're going to get all of this output and innovation from AI, but there is something that is so uniquely human that we can also benefit from it too. So what we need to do is take the surpluses from AI, use progressive taxation policies. So like what we do with high-income individuals, we would literally tax some of this high surplus wealth that companies generate from AI initiatives, and then utilize this to focus on societal changes. So just say, for example, roles that can actually benefit our communities, we can put this into better infrastructure in our business or in our society as well. So the thing about this is, you might be thinking, oh, this is a total pipe dream, total fantasy. But when I was actually researching this talk, I started to look for examples of this. And the first thing I came across was a quote from an economist from the 1930s. 1980s actually, and he said that technological advancement would eliminate jobs. And has it? No. Over and over again, we've seen the labour market has been made and remade. And even then, I was talking to someone about this talk, and they told me about Pete Johnson. He's an American footballer. I wouldn't be particularly into American football, but he had a great point of view. So he started talking about when ATMs were introduced when he was a child. At that time, there was 275,000 approximately bank tellers in the US. And so what happened when they introduced ATMs? Did all of those people get made redundant? Were those jobs eliminated? No. Those jobs were actually repurposed. Banks were able to open up new branches because they now had more and more people to staff these branches. They were able to open up new lines of business, create new products inside there. And as a result, in 2024, guess how many bank tellers there are in the United States? 357,000. So almost 100,000 more than there was when they introduced ATMs. Those ATMs that should have eliminated those jobs. So this gives us an opportunity, particularly with AI, to let AI does what AI does best, which is the jobs that are administrative work, the jobs that are something that can be easily replicated, but let humans then to focus on the areas where let humans focus on the areas where AI can emulate that skill, but never master it. So things like compassion, creativity, and connection. And so this then opens up other avenues. While we're looking at the output from AI, why can't we look at all new jobs? Why can't we redefine the definition of a job? Why are we so focused on that definition of a job from the Industrial Revolution? Can we not think about shorter work weeks? Can we not think about creating jobs? And actually, even today, I was having a conversation about this talk, and it was to do with home helps. Home helps are people that come into homes in Ireland to take care of our elderly. But in that case, someone might come in and do their medication, someone might come in and do the cleaning, someone might come in and do other basic tasks around the house. What if we had a robot and AI to do all of that? And that home help was repurposed to become a community carer, a person who literally had to come in and take care of the emotional well-being of that person. Wouldn't our society be such a better place? The same as if we look at artists. Artists are the cultural architects of our society. They can change our cultural fabric. They can drive our cultural narrative. And last year, or actually about 2 years ago, Ireland implemented a basic income for artists to let them do what they do best. Why can't we invest more in that? Invest in other areas, creative mentors, people who encourage, again, those skills that AI cannot emulate, but a human can, which is creativity, connection, and compassion. So what I say to you now is, we have an opportunity to utilize AI to actually change our society and change our society for the best. So what I'm going to say to you is you've got two choices now. There's a lot of people who can influence change around them. So you can either go off and actually campaign and encourage and influence policy changes around you so that we can actually create new roles like this, or else we can continue careening towards a future. Like, have you ever seen WALL-E, the movie? So in WALL-E, you can see all the people floating around their little pods. Their basic needs are met, but there's no connection or compassion between them. And that's the future that we are careening towards if we don't course correct now. So the next time I go into a coffee shop, and I hope you do too, I want you to take that coffee from the person and think about the connection and how you can change that. Thank you.